What's going on YouTube? It's Ben, and in this video, I'm going to talk about why recruiters need to go solo. What's going on YouTube familia? Thank you so much for checking out another one of my YouTube videos. If this is your first time here, I talk about recruiting, business, anything entrepreneurship, and if you like those kind of topics, I vlog daily, so definitely smash the red subscribe button down below. You will not be disappointed. Getting right into it. So I know this audience is comprised of a multitude of recruiters, corporate recruiters, agency recruiters that work for agencies large and small, solo recruiters like myself, as well as people that are like, what the hell is recruiting in the first place? What I want to accomplish here is to give you, and you know who you are, whoever you are, corporate recruiter, agency recruiter, someone just looking into recruiting, a reason, a specific reason and a rationale as to why you should leave your current role, your current position to go solo in recruiting. So a big shout out to all of my corporate recruiters out there watching. You guys do a whole lot. You guys pretty much rock. However, for some reason, even though you rock and you're amazing at recruiting for your corporate entity, you get paid so little. As a corporate recruiter, you are capped, meaning you're capped at a certain threshold. According to Payscale.com, which is pretty much the gold standard, I'd say, you make on average $58,142 annually. Now keep in mind, that includes regular compensation, bonuses, commissions, and profit sharing. All of that's built into that $58,142 salary. Yeah, that's a really tiny amount of money for what you guys actually do. I mean, you work with anywhere from 5 to 40 hiring managers, handling pretty much every aspect of the hiring process and dealing with candidates all day long. Not to mention, to actually hit that $58,142 average annual salary as a corporate recruiter, you need to perform very well, meaning hitting your quotas and hitting all of your numbers to actually attain that number. So you really need to be working your butt off. So in all honesty, hats off to corporate recruiters. I mean, you guys do a whole lot. You just do a ton of work and you do it really, really well. You just get paid a really, really low amount of money in the grand scheme of what recruiters can make. Now keep in mind, don't take this as me being narcissistic or up on a pedestal or anything. If you're totally okay with that W-2, that 9-to-5 grind, and a boss telling you what to do rather than you telling yourself what to do, and that's comforting for you, totally just ignore this. Like that's not gonna be for you. The information on this is not gonna be for you. However, what really, really irks me about corporate recruiting is that you guys are so good and that so many of you have been at it for so long, which means that you have the total capacity to go solo under your own brand name, under your own company, taking 100% commission, dealing with your own clients and running it the way you want to run it rather than the way your boss at the corporation told you to run it, and you're totally gonna kill it considering you've got that corporate experience and you know exactly how to run the show. Honestly, corporate recruiters, you really know what you're doing because I know how tough it is to be a corporate recruiter. I've interviewed several of them before this video and it's a tough gig. You have a lot of people to report to, and when you become the only person that you need to report to, I bet in 2020, if you decided to go solo, you could take that $58,000 salary and easily probably double it, if not triple it, in 2020. Caveat, that is if you know what you're doing, if you've been in the business for long enough, if you know precisely how to operate a business in the first place, and if you have enough motivation to motivate yourself. And again, if you're not too comfortable with that 9-to-5 grind, W-2, and all that jazz. To be honest, corporate is great. The corporate 9-to-5 is great. I worked a corporate 9-to-5 sales job and it taught me pretty much every single thing I need to know about closing deals and working with clients and working with people overall. Just why not use everything corporate has taught you you corporate recruiters, in order to just run off and double, triple your income. I just don't understand the mindset there. If you know what you're doing and you know how to do it, why not go make more money? And just because I think it needs to be said, there's an issue in corporate America. People feel loyalty to their company when their company has zero loyalty to them. Your 9-to-5 corporate job could be washed away in a second and you'd be left with nothing but searching for another job. The 9-to-5 is practically the most unsafe thing you could do in the working world. And just because I think this needs to be said for everyone listening, it's a really odd phenomenon, but people actually feel a loyalty to their company, their corporation, the people that hired them, their coworkers. They feel comfortable in that scenario. That loyalty and comfortable element just gets people trapped. And I think so many people are just not woke yet to the idea that they can leave, make money on their own, doing exactly what they do for the corporation, but take 100% of the cut. If your corporate recruiting gig is that comfortable for you, then pretty much that $58,000 a year is going to be as comfortable as it gets for you. That's all I got to say. Switching gears a little bit, how about we talk about you entrepreneurial recruiters that are working for recruiting agencies currently? Now, I find it kind of funny because you guys are almost like halfway in, halfway out. The way you run your business with the clients that come in and the candidates you find, you guys sort of have your own thing almost solo, but not really, because you're covered under the umbrella of the agency that you work for and you get just a slim cut of the profit. So after interviewing a handful of my good friends that actually work for recruiting agencies, large and small, they told me that everyone pretty much starts off with a base of $45,000 to $50,000. That's guaranteed money. And then on top of that, you basically have the potential to make upwards from there of about $20,000 to $30,000 in commission. So on average, we could say that you could close out your year at about $70,000. Agency recruiters, I can virtually guarantee you, if you go solo in 2020, you will double that salary. But to you agency recruiters, I get it. They make it so easy for you to stay. All the systems, the structures, the paychecks, the commissions, the protocols, everything's all set up for you. All right, listen, here's fact for fact. I don't want to lie to you. I definitely don't want you to lie to yourself. So let's go over it. The CRM. The ATS, that huge database of candidates, the list of clients or potential clients, that LinkedIn subscription. Listen, agency recruiters, you can set up all of this stuff on your own, under your own brand name, under your own domain, with your own setup. Obviously, be clear of any NDAs or non-competes because this stuff is really serious, as of course you probably already know. At the end of the day, you really do have to have that entrepreneurial spirit to make this happen. You have to know how to set up a business, run your own taxes, get your LLC, all that stuff. But that's very, very easy. And I want people to understand that. And so many people undercut themselves, and that's a huge misfortune for themselves. So if you have that spirit, go ahead and do it. Especially agency recruiters, you guys are positioned perfectly to go solo because you're almost halfway there. You're literally half foot in, half foot out. And for those of you guys earlier that answered, what the hell is recruiting? I have no clue what I'm watching. Listen, recruiting is an amazing business. You should definitely get your feet wet. Go into my group, Six Figure Recruiters, link in description, of course. Everyone who's not in there should be in there. It's a wealth of knowledge. And if you don't know what recruiting is, you're kind of discovering it, getting into it, definitely a good place to be. Watch the rest of my YouTube videos as well as join the group. In talking to most people when I set up these videos, I find that the comfort of their position is really of utmost importance to them. I personally find doubling or tripling or even quadrupling my income by going solo and controlling things myself makes myself much more comfortable than anything in the world could. But of course, I've got to be totally honest with you guys. If you're too lazy or you just don't know how, or you're not willing to learn how to set up your own LLC, file your taxes at the end of the year, or do any of that stuff, and it makes you way too uncomfortable, then this is definitely not for you, and I would not pursue going solo. I wouldn't advise that at all. It's just not your cup of tea. But again, as you know, I'm a 0% downside, 100% upside kind of guy. And when I see an opportunity, if I were working corporate or agency or just getting into recruiting, I would absolutely 100%, 100,000% go solo in my recruiting career because the upside is 100%. There's no doubt about it. All I wish for any of you that have watched this video to do is to just ponder what I've talked about, ponder the concepts I've discussed, look at the numbers, look at the energy you put in, look at the effort you do, look at your skill set and look at what it's worth, what it's valued at, and ponder through that. That's all I ask of you. If this video was helpful in any way, please smash that like button down below, as well as hit the subscribe button and the alert button so you know every time I come out with a new video, which is pretty much every single day, so I will be catching you guys tomorrow. Until then.